Hello, beautiful Aquarius friends, and welcome to your June 2021 reading. I am so excited to be doing these. It's been a while since I've done some zodiac readings, but I'm a little laid up this week. I had a bit of a gardening accident. So my first piece of wisdom for the day is going to be do not garden in open-toed shoes, okay? So let's get into this. So as we go into June, we have come from May, and at the end of May, as some of you may know, we had that super blood moon. It was a super flower blood moon, or super blood flower moon, however you want to put it. But it was like jam-packed with intensity, lots of energy. So many people were feeling it. Maybe you were one, especially being, Aquarius. We are often highly influenced by a lot of those high-packed energy moons. So as we move from that full moon, which was very much about releasing yourself from old patterns, acknowledging the different cycles in your life and where you want to go in the different directions you want to go. As we move from that full moon, we move into this new moon, which is June the 10th. But this new moon not only is a new moon, but it's a new moon solstice. Okay, there's an eclipse energy with it, and it is so much about putting new transformation into play and into action. So I really felt called to do the June 2021 readings as a transformation reading. So that's really what we're going to be looking at today. All right, so let's get into this Aquarius. So this is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Maybe you just have a lot of Aquarius in your chart. I do trust that if you find this at a later date, of course, that if you found resonation within it, you were meant to hear the message. We are certainly not all at the same point in growth. So, certain messages are not always going to apply at the same time. Okay, and keep in mind it is a collective reading, so take what fits, leave the rest. All right, this is for Aquarius. Spirit, what message do you have for Aquarius? What message do you have for Aquarius here for June 2021? June 2021. Aquarius. Thank you, Spirit. We have the Five of Earth. We have Temptation, which is the devil energy. And we have the Eight of Pentacles. All right, for the transformation taking place this month. We have the Moon, the Three of Wands, or the Three of Fire, and Page of Earth. How is this transformation supporting Aquarius? We have Four of Water, Nine of Fire, Two of Earth. How is this transformation challenging Aquarius this month? No boogie. Oh, jeez Louise. Sorry, guys. He's a bit of a pain in the butt. How is this transformation challenging Aquarius? We have Magician, the Hanged Man, and the Lovers. All right, well, that makes sense. Okay, well, Aquarius, this is looking like a beautiful transformation. So current energy, we have the Five of Earth, Temptation, and Eight of Earth. So we're talking Five of Pentacles, the devil energy. No. And the Eight of Pentacles. Please go lay down, baby. Or just lay down where you are. All right, so the Five of Earth, the devil, and the Eight of Pentacles. Now, the Five of Earth is talking about, it can be that very despairing kind of lonely energy. It's the energy of feeling almost deprived, right? Like you've been stuck on the outside. You can almost see that this girl looks like she's grieving, right? Like she's kind of like almost consoling her own self. And that's kind of the energy of the Five of Pentacles. It's kind of like where you've been going at things for a while, on your own, feeling like you're almost constantly going at things on your own. With the devil energy behind this, can be addictions, it can be toxic behaviors, toxic relationships, things though that I love how within this deck it's called temptation. Right? Because that is what that low vibration devil energy is. It's things that tempt us from our purpose or from our path, right? And the Eight of Pentacles is about committing to the work that is at hand. You see, I feel like there's this energy here of addressing some of that low vibration energy. There's work to be done here with that Eight of Pentacles in the current energy. That's what that Eight of Pentacles is about. It's about acknowledging that there needs to be dedication and almost resilience put into the task at hand, right? Let's clarify this Five of Earth. Why is this Five of Earth here? Five of Earth is here because of the Two of Air. So the Five of Earth, as we were talking about, that kind of like, it's almost like the energy of lacking, okay? Like you're constantly up against the brick wall. Like you're constantly the one who's getting shortchanged. You know, you're the, and especially when we're talking about pentacles, like it literally can be talking about financial, you know, just financial stability, like constantly feeling like you're battling the never-ending battle, right? And when the Two of Swords is clarifying that Five of Pentacles, it's like it's that constant blockage. Okay, it's that constant stalemate, right? Like it's as though you are constantly in this survival mode. You know, not even thriving, surviving, right? And when the low vibration behind that, with that devil energy, like that can be where we attach ourselves to low vibration energies. Yeah, we pulled the eight of air and the Queen of Air. You see, the Eight of Air is all about the energy of victim mentality. Okay, the Eight of Air, the Eight of Swords is talking about where you have felt trapped and limited and stuck within your own belief system. You know, and that can be from situations that have happened. That can be from you know, childhood, from adult. That can be from trauma. It can be from a whole bunch of different situations in which you were originally victimized. Okay, like yes, you were victimized at some sort of situation or for some sort of whatever the case may be, in whatever situation that is. But the Eight of Swords is going from that situation in which you were victimized, and therefore going forward still with that victim mentality. That's what this Eight of Swords is. You know, and especially when it comes to this low vibration devil energy, because oftentimes we will almost accept less in our life. We'll go to the negative. We'll attach ourselves to the toxic side of life simply because we think, well, I am a victim. Right? I am a victim of those bad circumstances, or I am a victim of that kind of life, or I am a victim of bad relationships, blah, 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 right? And so by saying that statement, by repeating that Eight of Swords statement within your life, you are therefore very much, I want to say kind of like you're circulating on that low vibration toxicity kind of devil energy, right? It's easy to become attached to certain things, very codependent of certain things, because within your mindset, it's still that, it's still kind of that thinking of I am my wound, whatever that wound is. Maybe it's a bunch of wounds, right? And what you see, the Queen of Swords comes in here as well with this Eight of Swords, because the Queen of Swords is about clarity. Okay, she's about truth. And for some of you, I do feel, and you know, this is definitely being an Aquarius. This is definitely your divine feminine energy, but it's also very much about just that energy of intuitively getting clear on maybe where your patterns and your talk are. Okay, where you are keeping yourself stuck or limited or tied to toxic ways of thinking, toxic cycles, toxic patterns, maybe where you are struggling with some sort of, you know, addiction. And again, addiction doesn't necessarily have to be substances of any kind. It can be addictions to relationships, to people who aren't good for you, right? Like there's all sorts of different addictions and different ways of coping that we use in our life, simply because we don't want to change the narrative from we are the victim anymore, right? Like, and that just takes a huge self-acknowledgement, right? Like that takes huge personal self-growth to really be able to sit with the situations that have happened and then acknowledge, wait, I'm not that. I'm beyond that. Yes, that situation happened to me, but I'm beyond that. And see, and that's that Eight of Pentacles. Because this Eight of Pentacles, this current energy of the Eight of Pentacles is acknowledging that, yes, you have been in that survival mindset for a long time, but you don't have to be. Okay, this is the choice of going forward and the choice of choosing to grow, right? Choosing to put in the work, choosing Ace of Cups, choosing the new beginning. You know, and the Ace of Cups the aces are gifts from the divine. And it's amazing how many times aces have come out in these readings, especially within these zodiac readings for this month, because I feel like the divine, as we are going into these transformations, the divine is gifting clarity, truth, emotional new beginnings, emotional happiness, right? Aces of Cups are that. Aces of Cups are emotional opportunities, something that is going to fulfill you, something that is going to spark and fulfill your soul. And you see, when you work through this idea that you are constantly surviving and not thriving in life, you can therefore begin to shift your sights, and you will see this cup of opportunity, right? This is what you're working towards. Okay? And it's not, especially when the Eight of Pentacles comes out, that's not just wishing on a star and hoping that, well, I'm going to pray for all these good things and I'm going to pray for all this change, and I hope the divine just pulls that one out for me. No. The Eight of Pentacles is acknowledging that, yes, you are manifesting with the divine, but that you still must show up to the work that needs to be done here. Right? In order to change that mindset from that victim mentality, one must really sit with self and do that healing work, right? And be open. Now, the transition here that is coming within this month, I loved it. It was the Moon, the Three of Wands, and the Page of Earth. The Moon is all about going forward and having faith in the divine. The Moon is all about our intuition, okay? The Sun is all about our action side, and the Moon is all about our intuitive side, our deep inner knowing. And you see, this comes from faith, okay? It comes from direct connection to a divine source, whatever that is to you. The Moon is about having faith in the things that we cannot see. It's because oftentimes there are things that we cannot see in life. There's so much, like there's a lot of gray area or dark area, I want to say, in life. And it's not necessarily that the dark is bad, but that the dark is just unsure. It's unclear. Right? And oftentimes there can be illusions hidden within the shadows. And that's the energy of the Moon. This transition here, especially with the Three of Wands and the Page of Earth behind it. The Three of Wands is about going forward and changing your perspective. Okay, the Three of Wands is about acknowledging the path within you that is changing, the vibration within you that is changing, and the difference that vibration is going, the different outcome that vibration is going to project you on. You know what I'm saying? Like when you acknowledge that you are going to, remove yourself from the low toxicities of that devil energy and from that victim mentality, and you move yourself into the I am not defined by what has victimized me in the past, you therefore switch the vibration in which you have been on. Okay, and I see that within this transition, there's a lot of faith here within the divine, and that faith within the divine to move you from the illusions, through the illusions, to clarity and to truth. This inspires you to really seek truth within self. And seek power within inside of self, like claim power within inside of self. And that's not a selfish thing to do by any means. And the Page of Earth, you see, this is about really putting this into a new tangible cycle, right? Pages are all about brand new beginnings. And the Earth is all about tangible change, tangible things happening within your life, you see. And I feel that there is just, especially within this transition this month, there is just this huge calling to really trust. Yeah, the Moon gets the Six of Cups. Three of Fire gets the Ten of Air. Page of Earth gets transformation. Wow. The Six of Cups is about healing. Okay, it's about nostalgia. It's about going back and reflecting within your life. And especially that's a huge part of what is happening here, because in order to go back and change and heal that victim mentality that you are holding on to here, Aquarius, you really have to heal the emotional aspects of it. Okay, you really have to sit with your emotions, and those can be things that can be going back and healing inner child work. It can be going back and healing young adult. It's going back and doing that reflection within your life and acknowledging the parts of you that maybe you have had to alter or shift to appease others in your life. Okay, and this is going back to those bare roots and those bare emotions, and really coming to terms with, okay, what is authentic to me? What is my authentic emotion saying, right? And get rid of those layers of feeling like the victim. Okay, because you are not your wound, Aquarius. You are so much more than your wound, especially when this three of fire is clarified by the Ten of Air, because you can see this Ten of Air is the Ten of Swords, and that's about cutting away the toxic beliefs, the toxic thoughts, the toxic patterns. Okay, the things that have kept you stuck, restrained, unable to go forward in life. You see, and here as you choose this higher vibration of self, you are ultimately choosing to cut away those beliefs of the past, The Page of Earth, clarified by the transformation card. Well, this is the Death card. You see, and in order to go forward here and start this new cycle, you have to transform within self. And I love this because this is the Phoenix. If you can see it, it actually looks like the Phoenix. And you are rising from the ashes here, Aquarius. Okay, you are going forward here, rising from the ashes. You are going forward here as the Phoenix. And this is the new cycle that you are becoming. You are releasing yourself from those old toxic patterns here and embracing the new beginning. It's going to take work. It's going to take you actually being committed to this change, but that is beautiful. You see what's supporting you here. We have the Four of Water, the Nine of Fire, and the Two of Earth. Four of Cups, Nine of Wands, Two of Pentacles. The Four of Cups is all about acknowledging that, yes, cups were spilt, okay? Cups, opportunities, things that you maybe thought in the past were going to work out. Yes, they didn't, okay? But that doesn't mean that there isn't a cup of opportunity here for you being offered. And you can see that with that Ace of Cups in the current energy, okay? The Four of Cups is three spilt, in traditional tarot, is three spilt cups, and then Spirit's still offering you a new opportunity here. And that's greatly what's happening here. That's what is supporting you here, is maybe there's something within your current energy space that you can see, oh, you know, maybe this is why nothing else worked in the past. With the Nine of Fire behind that, you see it's about really acknowledging the journey that you have been on, Aquarius, and all that you have learned and all that you have come from, right? Wow, Five of Water clarifies that Four of Water. You know, and interesting enough, that Five of Water, again, very much, we have the Six of Water, the Five of Water, and the Four of Water. This Five of Water is acknowledging the heartache and the pains that you are still carrying within you, the broken emotions that you are still carrying within you. You see, and that's what has to happen here. And that's what is supporting this, because I feel as you release yourself from those ideas that you are those wounds and that you have to carry around those pains of those wounds, as you release yourself from that and acknowledge, wait a minute, I can heal and go forward here. That's what's happening with this Five of Water. You emotionally are healing the scars that you have carried, those emotional burdens. You're releasing yourself from that. And within releasing yourself from that burden and that heartache, you're opening yourself up again to that opportunity, that cup that Spirit still has for you. You see, the Nine of Fire is about understanding that you have come from the darkness, but you are here in this power of manifestation. Now you are the creator of your stars. Okay, you are the one, you are the master. Once you heal yourself, once you claim that power of healing self and acknowledging, wait a minute, that past isn't going to be what I carry forward because I'm bigger and I'm better than that. Okay, once you realize that and you open yourself up and understand all that you have learned, that Nine of Fire, you go forward able to co-create with Spirit, able to change life, right? Yeah, Nine of Pentacles. Wow. Nine of Pentacles clarifying the Nine of Wands. And nine is a very self-fulfilling energy, my love. Okay, nine is all about feeling wholesome and full of within inside of self. And that's why this Nine of Earth clarifies this Nine of Fire, because the Nine of Fire is the energy of claiming your power, claiming the power over your past, claiming the power over the storm, and understanding that as you go forward here, you are accountable for what you are creating. You know, that's that Nine of Earth. It's finding that fulfillment within inside your own energy, finding that healing, finding that, you know, when we have to feel, as much as, even though we may want to go out and find relationships or connections with other people, that's great, but we need to find that fulfillment within inside of self. We need to feel wholesome within inside of self. Okay. And that doesn't mean that you're still not open and looking for another partnership, but it means that when you are on your own and in that pause phrase, that you still feel wholesome within inside your own energy. You're not going to look for somebody to fill your energy space. You're going to look for somebody who is going to contribute, you know, be an asset. And then we have the Two of Pentacles, you see, and here's that balance. Here's the balance in which you are finding within inside of self, because as much as you need to have faith, you also need to put work in. Right? You need to show up for what needs to happen. We have the Eight of Water and the Ten of Pentacles clarifying this Two of Cups. Beautiful. Or sorry, Two of Earth. Two of Pentacles. You know, and the Eight of Water is about walking away. Look, you can see his ship is coming in with the new day here, right? And he's leaving behind, even though, you know, there's this treasure chest and there's these things in the past. He understands that oh, look, there's even a beautiful lotus, you know, really coming from, again, understanding the whole cycle of life and understanding that there are parts. The cycle of life is acknowledging that there are parts in our life that we will love, emotions and opportunities that will not work out. Okay, that is our soul's journey, is to learn these lessons and to evolve and to grow throughout those lessons. And this is acknowledging that. You know, especially when it clarifies that balancing energy, because this is acknowledging that and understanding that you can leave a past behind that you thought was going to be something, but that you have healed from and understood that you have taken what you needed from. And now going forward, you are creating the 10 of Pentacles here. There is happiness, there is fulfillment, there is that family and that, you know, prosperity that you may be working towards here, but there is that wholeness coming here. But it is, again, understanding that there needs to be that balance between healing and growth, right? You can't all just put it all into growth and think that you can go forward and not heal. And you don't need to get caught up in the understanding that, well, you know, this healing is going to be so traumatic and there's so much of it and it's just overwhelming. No, it's that balance, I feel, between both. Now, what could be challenging within this whole transformation this month was the Magician, the Hanged Man, and the Lovers. So for some of you, you know, this is going to be the energy in which feeling full in your own powers and your own strength could be very challenging for you. Manifesting, having faith that you are this powerhouse being that you are meant to be could be very challenging for you. Absolutely. The Hanged Man behind that, that's that surrender. That's that releasing of resistance to change, you know, and allowing the divine here just to have control. And the Lovers, I mean, it can certainly be, you know, evolving or involving some sort of love situation, romantically, platonically, whatever that is to you. But the Lovers is also about choice. Okay, and that's very important, and I feel that that's a very important piece, because I do feel like what could be a challenge for you within this transition is the choices that you make and the reasons that you make them. Are you making them within your own power? Are you making them because you're afraid if you don't make them, something better isn't going to come along? You know, are you afraid that if you don't make that choice, the divine isn't going, like, are you making a divine choice thinking that, well, if I don't make this choice, the divine is going to overlook me. What's for me could not be for me, right? And that's very important that you get clear on why you're making choices. Let's clarify. Why is this Magician a challenge for this transition? Strength, yeah, absolutely. Inner strength. It's hard to embody this power of strength. It's hard to embody this power to strength. Okay. And the strength, clearly with strength coming out here, strength isn't about being loud and brawn and showing up or being the strongest one with the biggest muscles or the loudest mouth. Okay. Strength comes from being bold within heart and understanding that what is within your heart is what must be what you act upon. That must be what you co-create, you know, and oftentimes we get very confused in the hierarchy within our own power, and the hierarchy within our power must go self-creator others, you know, and if we switch that up and give that power to anybody else, whether that's the creator or that's others in our lives, we therefore strip ourselves of our own strength, of our own authenticity. And this here could be a very big challenge for you within this month, Aquarius, but this is about really being crystal clear on what it is that you want. And the strength within inside of self. This is about being real to your powers and listening to that power of self, listening to that Magician within inside your soul. Why is this Hanged Man energy? Why could this Hanged Man energy be very challenging for Aquarius this month? Thank you. Messenger of Earth, that is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is a very slow moving energy. And maybe for some of you, that's why this Hanged Man energy, because the Hanged Man is about releasing the resistance. It's about just, you know, you can see that he's flipped himself over here and he's just surrendered himself to divine timing. And that can be very hard for us to do. And the Knight of Pentacles being a very slow moving kind of knight, it's one step in front of the other. It is forward movement, but it's not always the fastest forward movement. And sometimes we want change, and we want change now. Especially if it's within love or it's within relationships or if it's within new beginnings, right? We see the growth and we see the change that needs to happen, and we're like, okay, well, we've made our mind up. That's what we want. And then we want the end results. You know, and this is kind of the period in which Spirit is like, you just got to let things unfold. You have to have the faith here. You know, and if you can't show up to have the faith, then are you worthy of... You know, are you worthy of the end result, right? Like if everything was just given to us the moment we decided, well, that's what we want, that's going to make us happy in life. If we got everything we wanted, if it was that instant, spontaneous, you know, kind of answer to all of our prayers, well, then the outcome wouldn't be nearly as valued. Okay. And that's very much the case, especially if we're talking about love here. Hermit. Wow. The love. Lovers is clarified by the Hermit. You know, and again, it's kind of interesting because the Hermit is about introspection. The Hermit is about that inward light, finding that inward truth. And when it clarifies this love, for some of you, again, as I was saying, it could be a choice. And it could be a choice as to like, wow, choosing self, I really feel interesting enough. But again, it has to, like that choice, I feel like that choice here, and why this could be very challenging, why the Lovers could be very challenging. For some, it could be because you're wanting to do that inward reflection. For others, it's because almost I feel like there still is more work to be done on that codependent nature of self. You know, I feel like if you're afraid that love is going to slip, if this love is going to slip within your fingertips and it's not going to be yours, then you need to go again and sit with self and understand, why are you so afraid of losing love? Why are you so afraid that it's going to just slip between your fingers? I feel like there's still some self-reflection that really needs to happen within that Lovers kind of energy. All right, now how could this transformation be affecting the divine feminine energy here for the Aquarius? How could this... Thank you. We have the Ace of Air. We have the Page of Fire, wow, and we have the High Priestess. Now, when we talk about divine feminine energy, keep in mind we're talking about our intuition, our inner knowing. Certainly, you can apply it to a relationship. It's not gender specific by any means, but it is. But I mean, you could. But I highly encourage you to reflect this as your own inward divine feminine. Okay, so we have the Ace of Air, we have the Page of Fire, and we have the High Priestess. You see, here again is one of those aces. This is a gift. This is truth. This is clarity coming in from the divine. It could be an aha moment. It could be something that really sets spark to understanding here, especially with the Page of Fire behind that, because the Page of Fire is that like, again, new beginning. Pages are, again, new beginnings, right? And that Page of Fire is something that brings passion, new beginnings, okay? New passionate beginnings. The High Priestess here, that's that intuitive side, very divine feminine side, okay? And this to me is some truth that comes in to really help that intuitive side of self understand this is the direction, this is the beginning, this is the way that we're going. It can certainly be something, maybe somebody's coming in and conveying some sort of truth to you, and you have to sit with that intuitively and really be open to this new beginning. But I do feel like, again, when we're reflecting this inward to ourselves, this is so much the energy of Spirit bringing in some sort of clarity, some sort of new beginning that you've been waiting for. Intuitively, I feel like you felt it was coming. And now this is really just having the faith, allowing yourself to be in the moment and be in the present, right? How is this transition affecting divine masculine energy? Wow, another ace. Ace of Earth, Eight of Fire, wow, and Queen of Cups. That's so interesting because the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups are almost one of the same. Okay, the Queen of Cups has very much High Priestess energy. She's very intuitive. She's very connected to her emotions and to her spiritual side, much like the High Priestess. You see, here's this Ace of Pentacles, this divine masculine energy. You know, this is the action energy in which you may be feeling. Here's that new beginning. You know, and I do feel, Aquarius, that you understand that there is this new cycle beginning, you know, and it is gifted to you from the divine. You have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Air, and the Ace of Earth. The Eight of Fire behind this is again a gift from a new beginning, some sort of new passionate spark. It could be something that you don't even expect. Maybe it is somebody coming forward with some sort of communication, really expressing themselves and expressing their emotions here to you. But I do feel like, I feel like that action side of self here is really feeling that push from the Creator, again, to tap into that divine feminine energy. Like, it's so interesting that there's so much divine feminine energy within this relationship. And I just feel, Aquarius, that's because you have to listen to that divine feminine energy right now. Your intuition is speaking loudly here on the next steps and on the steps that you need to have, on the patience you need to have, right? All right, so we are going to grab a couple Moonology cards here for the divine feminine and divine masculine energy. So for the divine feminine, we have, wow, New moon in Scorpio. Work through your fears. Absolutely. Your commitment is being tested. Wow. So this is a beautiful energy. And I love the first quarter moon. I love this energy because this is where you're being tested on the patterns. It's not that the universe sets out to test you. Okay. It's not, and certainly not to see you fail. That's not why the universe tests us. But patterns will continue to repeat themselves. That's how cycles and patterns work until we are committed and tested and do it differently, right? If old patterns, because they will just keep coming up, that's how that works. They will come back into your face. And if you address them the same way you have in the past, they will repeat once again. Okay. And your commitment is being tested here because those patterns are going to face you. They're going to stare at you in the face and you are going to have to decide, am I going to do this differently? Or am I going to do it the way that I have in the past? And that is why working through your fears here is so important, because only working through your fears will allow you to change the way that you have done this in the past. You see what I'm saying? And this one here. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. Absolutely. And love for self. That's a big one. Bring love for self into this situation. For divine masculine energy, we have a fiery climax approaches with the full moon in Aries. You are very close to achieving your goal, the gibbous moon. Wow. And a new romantic cycle begins. You know, and this certainly doesn't have to be new romances. New romantic cycles can begin within existing relationships, for sure. Have faith in your dreams, Aquarius. That's at the bottom of the deck. Have faith in your dreams. All right, so let's finish off here. Wow, okay, that was quick. Before I even said anything, we're going to finish off here with what Spirit's message is for you going forward. And Spirit I was thinking of this as we were moving, but anyway, here we are. We have the Tower. We have patience. We have the Sun and we have the Ten of Cups. You know, there are structures in your life that need to come down right now. And whether that is relationships or whether that's thought patterns or old cycles of self, the universe is shaking some stuff up here. Okay. And things might get a little rocky. This transition might feel a little heavy within this month. Okay. Maybe it shakes it up a lot, but have patience. The Temperance is all about having patience and allowing that balance to unfold again in divine timing. You know, Aquarius, I understand that sometimes, you know, we just want to see those results so fast. And here, this is about having faith, you know, and that's what's really being tested and committed here. Okay, because you have to let the divine shake up the old structures. You have to let yourself heal. You have to do the work that is going to, going to be required of you here. And then you just need to allow divine timing to do its thing, right? Have faith, because happiness is here. You have the Sun and the Ten of Cups. Okay. Not only is there emotional happiness, but there is fulfillment, abundance, joy, family, connection. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful way to finish that reading. We're going to finish with an LQ oracle, actually. I feel very drawn to pull the LQ. And I'm going to read this one right from the book. And this is the message that Spirit wants you to carry going forward, Aquarius. What is the message for Aquarius? Wow. Okay, we got a few. I am only going to read one, though. We have she who stands, Valencina, resolute, impeccable, determined. And she who flies, wow, Valeris, dare do reach. What intense energies, Aquarius. Those are beautiful. All right, let us see. We'll start with Valencina. She who stands embodies the spirit of resoluteness. Her hair is tied back, revealing the determination on her face. Her bloodied sword rests in her hands. She is not holding it to defend herself. Instead, she clutches it to support herself after a hard-won fight. Part of her would like to run, but the stronger part insists that she holds ground. The fierce tusk skull on her right shoulder reminds her it is wiser to fortify her position. For now, Valencina holds her place. For those who would call her impeccable would not be wrong. The message of this card is to stand your ground. The thing you've been working so hard to obtain will be in your possession soon. Do not give in to the urge to give up. Let this card serve as a reminder of your own resolution. Acknowledge where you have been. Look at where you are now. Tie your hair back, roll up your sleeves. Now you must prove you have earned this spot. You will not be put aside easily. This moment will determine your own strength of will. Do not waver. Look them in the eye, hold their gaze, and show them your impeccable stance. Wow, that's beautiful. And Valeris, she who flies, locks eyes with you, and you know they are the windows to your soul. What do your eyes tell you when you peer into your mirror? Our lovely wild woman holds you in her gaze, challenging you to ponder what your own animal self might answer. She is the feminine spirit of Aquarius, who dared to fly so close to the sun. The bird skull represents the thought of going too high. It serves as a reminder of what can happen. But the feathers point out that the wild soul's call to fly. The message of this card is do not hide from your dreams, seeker. Do give in to crazy flights of fancy. Spread your wings as wide as you dare, but also listen to the advice of those who may have dreamed, also flown, and survived the fall. Remember, many great things have come about because those who have dreamed but failed. Your failures propel you forward toward your success. Now launch yourself, dreamer. Spread your big, wonderful heart so your soul can take flight. Do not fear the fall. Embrace the flight. Well, Aquarius, that was one heck of a way to finish that beautiful reading. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, take great care of your beautiful soul. Bye now.